Welcome back to Central Colorado Ballistics. My name is Wally. Every generation thinks it has finally found enough power, and every generation tries to push it further. In the early 20th century, lawmen wanted more penetration than the .38 Special could deliver. Hunters wanted more authority from a sidearm, and experimenters wanted to know how far pressure could be pushed. This is a story of chasing power. Not recklessness, not ego, but engineering ambition. Today we look at two cartridges born from that pursuit. 357 Magnum and 44 Magnum. Control versus authority. As we covered in the evolution of service calibers, the .38 Special eventually showed limitations against emerging threats of the early 20th century. The response wasn't abandonment, it was escalation. In 1935, the .357 Magnum entered production, a lengthened, high-pressured evolution built to push velocity further than any service revolver round before it. Developed through collaboration between firearms experimenter Phil Sharpe and Douglas Wesson of Smith & Wesson, Smith & Wesson introduced it in their registered Magnum revolver. It was the most powerful production handgun cartridge in the world at that time. Operating at substantially higher pressure than the .38 Special it evolved from, velocity exceeded 1,400 feet per second with 158 grain bullets, revolutionary for the duty handgun in 1935. That was revolutionary. Flat trajectory, improved penetration, greater margin, but also more blast, more recoil, more wear on firearms. The .357 Magnum features a bullet diameter of .357 inches. The cartridge itself is typically 1.59 inches long. Its case is 1/8 of an inch longer than the .38 Special. This lengthened case prevents the .357 Magnum from being chambered in a standard .38 revolver. Common bullet weights for the .357 Magnum range from 125 to 158 grains. For some, .357 was not enough. Elmer Keith believed in heavy bullets, large diameter, deep penetration. He pushed the .44 Special beyond factory limits in hand loads, working with Smith & Wesson and Remington to formalize those pressures safely in a production revolver. Experimenting, documenting, refining. In 1955, Smith & Wesson and Remington introduced the .44 Magnum. It eclipsed the .357 in raw energy. Designed from the outset to handle pressures beyond the .44 Special safely. 240 grain bullets at velocities exceeding 1,400 feet per second. Significantly exceeding the energy of most service handgun cartridges of the era. It was not subtle. It was not moderate. It was unapologetically powerful. Despite the .44 designation, the .44 Magnum actually uses a bullet with a diameter of approximately .429 to .430 inches. The cartridge itself is typically 1.61 inches long. Typically, bullet weights range from 180 to over 300 grains. From jacketed round nose to hollow point, there are many different types of bullets available. But as mentioned in previous videos, while the Desert Eagle can shoot .357 and .44 Magnum, it is advised to not shoot lead or lead-exposed bullets in it. That's because using lead bullets can damage the built-in gas system. Energy numbers are easy to advertise, but physics is more complicated. Kinetic energy increases with velocity squared. Momentum increases with mass. And recoil reflects both. 357 Magnum often relies on speed. 44 Magnum often relies on mass. Both can penetrate deeply. Both can be effective. But recoil is the tax you pay for power. And recoil influences control. But published velocity is one thing. Measured velocity is another. In 1971, a film changed public perception. Dirty Harry. Clint Eastwood's character declared the .44 Magnum the most powerful handgun in the world. Even in 1971, other specialty revolver cartridges rivaled or exceeded it. But it cemented the .44 Magnum in popular culture. Power became identity. Magnum became marketing. And the race continued. Now we bring it back to reality. 357 Magnum. Higher capacity in most revolvers. Flatter shooting. Often faster follow-up shots for many shooters. .44 Magnum. Heavier bullet. Greater margin in penetration. More recoil. More blast. The question is not which is stronger. The question is which can you control under stress. Authority without placement is noise. Placement without adequate penetration is risk. The pursuit of power never ends. Discipline determines where you stop. Every cartridge has a story. Every Magnum began as someone asking, what if we pushed it further? The 357 Magnum changed law enforcement. The .44 Magnum changed handgun hunting. Both were answers to the same question. How much margin is enough? On paper, velocity looks clean. Energy looks decisive. Charts look final. But paper doesn't recoil. Paper doesn't muzzle flip. Paper doesn't demand recovery between shots. And numbers are only as honest as the way we measure them. So next time, do we put them over a chronograph? Do we measure myth against velocity? Do we test control head to head? Or do we leave handgun world entirely and step into lever guns and the authority of the 4570? Because power is easy to print, control is harder to prove. Choose deliberately. Train honestly. Respect the physics. Paper doesn't bite, but momentum does. Freedom secured, rights defended.